Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to Outdoor and Door Texan. Today we're going to be making a homemade hot sauce with fresh habanero peppers and apples. In my last habanero hot sauce video, I mentioned that one of my favorite things about habaneros specifically is how they seem to have a really strong fruit flavor that stands out beyond the heat. And because of that, blending them with other various fruits creates some really wild flavor combinations. So with that in mind, today I'm going to show you all how absolutely delicious habaneros and green apples are when they're mixed together. Make sure to check the description below for my full list of ingredients and supplies necessary for this recipe. And once you have everything put together, let's get to cooking. Now we're going to start this recipe by placing 1 pound of habanero peppers with the stems removed, about 6 cloves of garlic smashed, and a ½ pound of green apple slices with the seeds removed, all on a baking sheet. Then place the sheet into your oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. A big word of warning for first timers: make sure your kitchen is well ventilated with fans on, the windows open, and your whole family out running errands. Baking hot peppers does make the air a bit painful to breathe. After 15 minutes, take the sheet out of your oven and you should have nice blistered peppers and garlic, and the apples should be baked down and softened considerably. Now simply transfer everything into a blender or food processor. After the main ingredients, add a ½ cup of water to the blender and give everything a good initial blend. Now add 1 tablespoon of salt, the juice of 1 lemon, and 1 to 2 cups of white vinegar. Now I say 1 to 2 cups because really it's a matter of taste. I'd start with 1 cup, which is enough to keep your sauce shelf stable. After blending, give it a taste test, and then if you prefer a stronger vinegar flavor from there, go ahead and add that additional cup. Finally, we're going to add a spoonful of sugar before giving it a final, long, thorough, high-speed blend. Sugar acts as a natural blocker to capsaicin receptors in your mouth, so this will mellow the heat down just a tad while also sweetening the fruit notes. If you're simply here for the heat and the pain, you're more than welcome to skip the sugar altogether. Or, on the other way around, if you'd rather have it even more mild, add more sugar. Either way, just taste as you go. Once we're happy with the flavors, it's time to strain our sauce. Pour your sauce through a fine sieve into a glass bowl. You can use a silicone spatula or even a spoon to help work the liquid through the mesh. The sieve will catch all the pulp and seeds from the mix, making your final product much smoother and easier to pour. Also, if you feel like a second project, save that leftover pepper mash and follow the video on my channel where I show you all how to turn that into a hot sauce powder. Now the final step for your hot sauce is bottling. I typically like to use 5-ounce bottles that I found on Amazon so I can portion out a couple as gifts and then work my way through the rest over time. I'll make sure to leave a link in my description below where you can find similar bottles on Amazon. If you don't feel like getting fancy though, just about any clean bottle or jar will work fine. Other basic supplies for bottling is a funnel and an optional bamboo skewer. I use the skewer to ensure the funnel doesn't fall off the bottle when pouring in my hot sauce. Also, when the skewer is inserted, it slows the drip of hot sauce down considerably, which makes it a whole lot easier to switch bottles if one is getting too full with a little mess. Another big tip for bottling is to make sure you're constantly stirring your hot sauce in between pours. If you don't, the sauce may start to separate and you'll have very inconsistent bottles from one to the next. Now the best and safest storage for your hot sauce will always be in the fridge. There is a good amount of vinegar in it, but why risk it? If you keep it in the fridge, it'll stay good for months and months on end, even though most bottles get emptied well before that. Finally, tasting this sauce, you're in for a pleasant surprise. It doesn't taste like baked apples, and it doesn't taste like habanero peppers. Instead, everything comes together and creates this really excellent tropical citrus flavor that has a mild sweetness to it. The heat is still definitely there, but there's an entire mouthful of flavor to go with it, so that eventual burn is a great trade-off. Like I said at the beginning, habanero peppers are very unique and build a beautiful hot sauce flavor. And blending in apple, lemon, and garlic has proven to be another successful combo for the pepper. Try this on chicken, pork, or any other white meat since it has so many fruit notes. But it's just a delicious overall sauce and adds a great bit of kick to anything you put it on. That'll do it for this recipe, and thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you give this one a try, and I'd love to hear what tweaks you may have added to the recipe. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more great content to come. Alright y'all, take care.